What's up, guys? This is Dalton from Coyote Classics. Right now I'm on the road heading down to Arkansas City, Kansas to look at a couple Mustangs I found on Facebook Marketplace. The guys had them for 30 plus years. Great cars. One's a 69 Mustang Mach 1, 390 car, S-code car. Other one's a 65 Mustang Fastback. So right now we're on the road in Kansas in the middle of nowhere, but it's pretty country out here. A lot of grass, and that's about it. A little different than Iowa. All right, so I'm here at Fred's place to check out these two Mustangs. Beautiful cars. We got a Mustang Fastback here, 65, black, beautiful paint, great looking wheels. Interior's nice, has a 5-speed Tremec in it. Beautiful car. Looks straight under the hood. This is actually the car that we originally inquired on, and we found out he had this 69 Mach 1 S-code car as well. So we're hoping to take them both home today. Some pretty cars. He's had them for about 30 years, since 1990. This car's got a 5-speed Tremec in it too. Brand new EFI tech system. All right, so we finally got both these Mustangs back here in the shop in Iowa. We're super excited to do our favorite part of the whole buying, selling process. Going over the cars, figuring out what we want to do to them. If we want to order wheels or tires or whatever we want to do. Chad's already kind of getting started on this black 65 Mustang, but we'll go around it and we'll kind of get a game plan together on what we want our finished product to look like. This is the black Mustang that he had. More of a resto mod. It's got the disc brakes, the 5-speed, the built 351. Really just a pretty car. Our things that we're kind of wondering on what we want to do to it is the Craigers. They're a little different style of wheels. Personally, I don't mind them. Chad, he's not a huge fan of them. So we're gonna try to figure out what we want to do there. Motor's super clean, missing horns. So we're gonna need to do that. Easy fix. Yeah. So that's one thing that we can put on our work ticket. As we go around, we fill out basic information about the car, what we find. We also fill out a separate ticket on things that we need to do and or want to do to the car. I think as far as appearance of the engine bay,
it's gorgeous.
Really, yeah, it really is.
Power steering, power 4-wheel disc brakes.
And Fred told me that this is a built 351. It used to be it's like a racing setup, so the car's super, super wicked.
It's got Edelbrock aluminum heads also.
Edelbrock aluminum heads. But I think as far as appearance of this engine bay, I think all we need to do is get it over to Jason and have him do his thing to it. Jason's our detail guy, does an excellent job.
Even has a mirror finish and the black paint underneath the hood.
I know, it's just a beautiful job. And I guess those Craigers, they're not terrible looking wheels, and we can always use them on something else too.
The other thing I'm kind of thinking is, what do you think about wheel well trim and rocker molding?
I can see that.
Add a little splash of chrome on the wheel wells and the rockers. Bring out the raised white letters with the chrome torque thrust and just give this car a total different appearance.
I think that'd look good. I mean, especially, I do like that black and chrome, and it's got some good chrome on it already. But I think with those brand new torque thrusts and some raised white letters, throw some wheel well trim on there.
This is kind of
and the car will be beautiful.
A lot of times they have the Mustang, you have the exhaust coming out the back. Everyone copies the GT trumpet stuff. This has got kind of a neat roll pan effect with the dual exhaust, comes right out, right hidden, but it's really nice.
Yeah.
You kind of get a peek under there. You can kind of barely see it, but it gives it kind of that resto mod look, something a little different from the back.
Yeah, just more sleek. Yeah.
This car's got the fold down rear seat. It's got the custom gauges. What do you think about the steering wheel? I'm not a huge fan of that small steering wheel.
I'm not. I think it looks fine, but it's definitely kind of a pain to drive, and it feels like you're kind of driving a go-kart. What do you think? You think we should go with wood grain steering wheel like Mustang should?
I like the wood grain steering wheel. I like the aftermarket Grant wheel, but on a high dollar car like this, I'm thinking more of the factory high dollar wood grain steering wheel. I think that's kind of the route I'm thinking about going. We'll kind of see and talk about that a little bit. But yeah, it's about a 16-inch wheel, 15-16. That's a 13.
I think that'll look a lot better and really give it the classy look that it's already has.
I agree. I mean, the car's got a lot. The restorer of this car did an absolutely fantastic job. He built it how he would want it. But I think for the general public, I think we go ahead and add a little Coyote Classics touch on it.
I agree.
I think you're gonna, interest a lot more buyers.
I think so. So. I think we do go with the torque thrust, the wheel well trim. Are we going to go chrome rocker molding as well?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that'd look good.
I think that'll add to it, and I think we're going to leave the restorer chose to leave the Mustang emblem out of the front grill. He chose to leave the 289, kind of leave it sleek.
Leave it, yeah. I like that.
I like that. So
I think we'll just add just the right amount of chrome. Now, what do you think of the seats? I mean, I know.
Personally, I seen it online. You know, I was going to change them. The first thing I was going to do is put the factory seats in there. But after I sat down and how comfortable they are, they're nice. They recline. And with that console, is super professional in there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to definitely leave the seats.
I agree. I think, the car's not a factory car, and it's never going to be.
No.
So I think leave the seats. We will do the wheel and chrome wheels and new tires, some wheel well trim and rock and roll. I think that'll be good for this car.
This is such a sweet car. I'm really kind of hoping this car stays in the United States.
I know, me too.
There's a good chance it'll go overseas because it's got everything our overseas buyers want. The four-wheel disc brakes, power steering, tons of horsepower.
I'd like to see this car go local and trade back for it someday.
Yeah.
But this black Mustang, though, is a great driving car. He said him and his wife took it to Florida from Kansas.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, they said it was a 2-day trip. They drove it all the way there. And that's part of the reason he kind of went with the 5-speed is because him and his wife like to go on long trips with him. And that's what this car was built for.
One other thing, this is a factory A code car.
Really?
How many Fastbacks do we get that are factory T code 6-cylinder cars or a C code 289 2-barrel?
A lot more
than
than
factory A code. Could have been a GT car from the factory.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. This is a beautiful car.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a couple gyms. This is the one we originally called on. And after.
You want to see if this baby will start?
Oh yeah, of course we got to hear it. Got to hear it.
I've never heard it.
I have had the pleasure of driving it.
Check out how comfortable this thing is. So, another thing with Mustangs, guys, is leg room problem on Mustangs, especially in fastbacks. With these custom seats,
There is a lot of room in that car.
wow.
That sounds great. It sounds like a freaking race car. This fastback is everything that you can want.
You're not just that idle right there, guys. Listen to that camera.
That sounds great. Like I said, it's a built 351. The thing's got tons of power.
It's got 776 miles on the odometer on the gauges.
On the new gauges, yeah. He said he had the car for 30 years. All factory Ford metal he got in the 90s and replaced it. All metal on this was from Ford. The paint was repainted in 2014. And you can tell, the paint's just beautiful. And black's a hard color.
But he restored it the first time in the 90s, didn't he?
Restored the first time in the 90s. That's when he did all the metal. This car actually, I think he sent it with, but it was on the cover of a magazine.
Really?
Yeah. But he's had it for a long time. This one, on the other hand, is one that after talking with him, we learned that he had. And we got down there and we had to buy both of them. They're great cars. This one just got back from Kansas, so it is a little dirty. But 700 miles will do that to a car. This is another one that he did kind of a resto mod to it. It is a factory S code 390 car.
It's got air.
It has vintage air. It's got fuel injection, FI Tech. By the way, he told me that the system is set up, but it needs to be finished. So we're going to send that to an expert and get that fuel injection finished, hooked up. But the car is drop dead gorgeous, real 390 car. It's got a 390 in it today.
Absolute show car, man.
It is.
Look under the hood. Air conditioning, Willwood, 4-wheel disc brakes on this one too. I checked a little earlier. So you got 4-wheel disc brakes, you got power steering, you got updated suspension on the front and rear. Both of these Mustangs are rock solid underneath.
Great cars. And this one also has a 5-speed Tremec. This guy was sitting on 2 beautiful fastbacks, and they're hard to find. Period. Fastbacks are hard to find. Yeah. And this guy had 2 of them. And he did them right.
This one might even be the rim blown.
It is the rim blown steering wheel.
It is factory rim blown steering wheel, factory tacking gauges.
Most of the interiors is
shifter.
original in it, but he did restore some stuff. He even has this was painted in 2014 too.
Okay.
And he has that's what's back there is the paint that he uses. Just another beautiful car.
This one has a folding rear seat too. They didn't all have that. Even in the
Really?
Mach 1, that was an option. Yep.
Huh. So
Let's see if we can fire this thing up.
Yeah, I want to hear this one too.
Do you remember, did this one sound as good as the other one we bought them, or do you remember?
Yeah, it does. It does. Not quite as good as the black one. Still got a rumble to it though. Great sounding car.
I pumped it a couple times. I forgot it was fuel injected.
Yeah, it is fuel injected.
The dash pad on this, no one did a cheap cap, man. This is a $500. I know these for experience. I've done some. They're about $450, $500 for that new dash pad. Very, very professionally done. Interior console's gorgeous, brand new shifter. It's even got the 5-speed shifter knob. Everything's right on it.
He did both cars the right way. Both are great cars.
What do you think about this thing? I mean, it's kind of, with the 4-wheel disc brakes, air conditioning, it's kind of a resto mod. A real Mach, he chose not to. Now, when this car was restored the first time, he did the same thing on this car. He restored this car in the 90s also.
Yes.
So this car was done the first time in the 90s. The first time he had this car, he had told me he had the Mach stripes on it and all that kind of stuff. But when he repainted it in this color, he loved that look so much, he decided not to go ahead and follow through and put the stripes on.
And I think, like you said, it is a resto mod. I'm kind of contemplating maybe doing the spoiler and the stripes and stuff. But I think the way it is, it looks sleek, it looks clean, detail it, buff it out, and it's already a beautiful car.
Yeah. I kind of think, if it's my opinion, I'm kind of torn. I think in a couple months, it's wintertime here in Iowa. So at Coyote Classics in about April, we always have to retake all our pictures anyway. I think if we still have this car in a month and a half, which I don't think we will, but if we do, then we'll go ahead and do the Mach 1 blacked out hood, the Mach 1 striping, the Mach 1 front and rear chin spoiler, and the rear spoiler. I think we'll do that at that point.
I think that's a good idea, because I think as the car sits, it's beautiful. Both of them are. And these are the raw materials. This is how they came in, fresh off the.
This one, we dare drive it. You want to try to take this one for a spin?
Yeah.
Or what do you think?
Might as well.
Hey James, you want to get the door for us? Did you test drive these at all when you were down there? Or no?
I drove the Mach at his place when I went down there to look at him, but this car was kind of tucked in the garage, and the way the Mach drove, I knew this would be an excellent driver as well.
It's not the best weather in Iowa, but the streets are pretty clean. Boy, it shifts really smooth though. Get a look at that console.
That is nice.
You can set your phone and stuff in there.
He even got, it's just...
You know what? He did have the side emblems. If a guy wants to put them on, they look like almost like brand new too.
2+2.
The 2+2, yeah.
He did a great job with these cars. Such a great guy too.
A lot of people get that 2+2 thing messed around. I've been in business for like 25 years. There's there. Anyway, so the 2+2, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that that meant the back seat fold down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive on that.
She's got some gonads, don't she?
Yeah, she's skating a little bit. Yeah, and it's not warm at all. We just fired it up. But gas gauge seems to work. Temp gauge works. That's coming up. Oil pressure's right at 50 pounds. That's what we like to see. Amp gauge is working. Heater fan works great. Wipers. A nice car, guys. This is how we like. Mechanics are going to go out of business.
I know.
We keep getting cars like this in that don't need anything. Another reason to get rid of the horn. Steering wheel.
This thing's quick.
It handles awesome. That's the torque of it.
It's torquey, yeah. It
doesn't miss a beat, and it's
such a sweet car.
Right,
I'm super excited to be able to get the new wheels on it, and just to see the transformation of this car, which is already a great car, just to see it with a little more eye appeal.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah. This thing handles awesome.
It's a great car. Like I said, he drove it all the way to Florida. Said it took him 2 days, him and his wife. It's a great car.
The brakes are perfect. The steering's perfect. Get these few things done on it, it's ready to roll, guys. Oh, there's our radio. That even works.
All right, so today we got the 65 Mustang up on the lift. Jason's gonna go through and detail the undercarriage, but I wanted to show you that we got the new wheels, wheel well trim, and rocker moldings all put on the car, and it looks fantastic. The look of the car just totally changed for the better, I believe. But these torque thrusts are just super, super clean, super cocky looking. It just really ties, all that chrome goes perfect with that black. And this is before we even had a chance to detail it. So the car's super clean underneath already. Super solid. Jason power washed it all yesterday. But today we're going to go through and kind of touch up that black paint because it's older. So we're going to go through and give the undercarriage a fresh coat of paint. But as you can see, it's already super clean, but I think it'll look good once we just kind of touch everything up again. But really a great car. And I'm expecting this one to sell just as fast as the maroon one did. The maroon Mustang we got over here, we just sold it yesterday, so we're going through and doing our sold ticket on it, where we go through and check all the lights and fluids and things like that. This is our sold ticket. We're actually going to send the car out this Wednesday to finish hooking up the fuel injection system and mount that FI Tech computer. But just a fantastic car. It's going, if I'm not mistaken, to North Carolina. This is one that I wish would have stuck around for a little while, but good cars sell, and this was definitely a good one. All right, so it's been about 2.5 weeks since I went down to Kansas and picked up a couple beautiful Mustang Fastbacks. Last week, our 69 Mach 1 that we picked up, and that's going to North Carolina. And the time's finally come to unveil what we did with this 65 Fastback. Without further ado, we'll take a look at her. And so when the car came in, it didn't have any of the wheel well trim or those torque thrust wheels. And the car looked good to start, don't get me wrong. Our wheel well trim, rocker moldings, and torque thrust, really gave the car a totally different look. The car is absolutely fantastic, absolutely gorgeous.
Dalton, should we show them the steering wheel option?
Yeah. So if you guys remember, we had that aftermarket little go-kart steering wheel in there. So we went ahead and ordered a brand new wood grain steering wheel, and it really gave that interior a whole different look too. Much more classy, but just such a beautiful car. And our 69 Mach 1 that we bought with this car sold in 2 days, and as good as this thing looks, this thing might sell just as fast.
It should.
All right, so today's the day. Our beautiful 65 Mustang Fastback is shipping out. It's going to Beverly Hills, so if you're in that area, keep an eye out for her. You'll be seeing her up and down the boulevard. Here she is, all tucked in the trailer, getting ready to go. It's a good car, didn't last long.